Hey everyone, what's up? How are ya? Hope you're fine. My name is Anya. Yeah, time for another horror short film. This is a sci-fi short film called The Gate, and yeah, let's go. Wait. For the gate that leads to damnation is wide, the road is clear, and many choose to travel it. Matthew 7:13-14. Let's see how the sound is. Why is there no sound? There it was.
Did you know or recognize this person?
No, I didn't.
Oh, the gate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we had that. Got it.
Could you tell me how his physical condition appeared to you at this point?
Well, it was fairly dark, but I could see that he was doubled over and was propping himself up against one of the cars. I thought he was ill or maybe injured. That's what it looked like.
And did he see you or respond to you in any way?
No, he didn't.
Was there anybody else with him?
I didn't see anyone, no.
Did you make any attempt to speak to him?
Yes. But he didn't reply, so I went over to see if I could help, which is when he began to have a sort of convulsion. A seizure, I think.
What did you do then?
Well, I didn't really know what to do for him, so I just thought that the best thing to do was to call for an ambulance, but I couldn't get a signal. So I decided to get to the nearest landline instead.
Okay. I just need to clarify. You mentioned in your preliminary statement that you saw an unusual deterioration in Mr. Russell's condition, in addition to the seizure he was experiencing. Could you tell me at what point this occurred, please?
It was just after that. As I was leaving to get help, to get to a phone, I mean, just as I reached the elevator, I looked back at him.
Okay. Could you describe again what it was you saw?
Loud and creepy.
I understand that it was only a few hours after this incident that an additional 2 bodies were found. That would be in the early hours of the 14th.
Yes, at 2 different locations. Both displayed evidence of the same extreme physical trauma that Mr. Russell had experienced. I should point out that the subsequent post-mortem examinations determined that each victim did belong to the same particularly rare blood group. This couldn't have been the exclusive cause of death, but as we later found out, it was certainly relevant.
Why is that
There
so
was
loud?
some initial speculation that a new virulent form of rabies might have been responsible, which could have caused the accelerated metabolic collapse, but was highly unlikely to have caused the gross distortion of the skeletal structure. In any case, there was no evidence of its presence in any of the PCR tests. In fact, there was no presence of any toxins, contagion, or infectious agents at all.
Proceeding to the night of the 16th, significant in 2 regards.
Yes. At 8:17 p.m., a call was made to the emergency services from a residential address in Canary Wharf. The caller gave a brief description of her husband's symptoms before being unexpectedly cut off. When paramedics finally gained entry to the apartment 25 minutes later, they found 2 bodies, identified as a Mr. and Mrs. Halliday. The pathologist's report concluded that Mrs. Halliday had suffered a depressed fracture of the skull and multiple fractures to the C3 and C4 vertebrae. In short, her husband's physical deterioration had become so uncontrollable that she had been killed as she attempted to assist him.
It would seem that the Joint Committee recognized the potential threat that you advised them of and responded accordingly.
Fortunately, yes. The emergency measures were in place before the next occurrence, which took place a little over 36 hours later.
Was it determined why the physical deformities advanced so aggressively in this instant?
Not conclusively, but subsequent cellular examination of the deceased did result in a partial breakthrough. Cytology research at Roslin identified part of the biological process that we now know to be responsible. By this stage, research efforts were focused on what role DNA might have during these episodes, and quite quickly the Roslin team determined that certain long-redundant gene sequences were becoming activated. It's never been clear as to what their function or purpose may have been in the past, but one theory is that they once played an important role in the evolutionary process. This may also explain the range of somewhat primitive physical characteristics we've seen in each of these cases.
And the incident in the Crixon Finance building?
Yes. On the evening of the 19th, following a board meeting that had finished at 7:25 p.m., an account executive and one of his assistants had elected to work on into the evening. At approximately 8:35 p.m., just over an hour later, the PA made her way down to the second floor to have a set of papers signed off by a member of the auditing team. Now, this was Mr. Martin Wiseman.
Something gonna be behind her now. Oh shit. I like it how it's so. Well, despite the moments when I jump, how quiet it is. That builds up a lot of tension.
At 8:54 p.m., Mr. Wiseman was found deceased in the fourth floor lobby area. But most importantly, physical evidence found in Mr. Wiseman's office was confirmation that he regularly purchased pharmaceutical products via an unregulated online retailer. The discovery of similar products found in the possession of the other victims led to the conclusion that they too had made purchases from the very same website. Forensic analysis of this evidence revealed that it contained a highly unstable, synthesized property that was chemically similar to hormone that is naturally found in the process of DNA construction and repair. It is this similarity that had prevented earlier detection during the pathology examinations. In short, the prolonged usage of this unstable chemical, combined with an unusual blood group, eventually culminated in activating the catastrophic biological process that caused their deaths.
As you will already know, the website in question has already been shut down, and steps have been taken to bring those responsible to account for the iniquity of what has happened here. I have briefed the Minister thus far, and he is satisfied that a major public health crisis has been averted. He asks that I should thank you and your team for the work done.
If I might say one last thing, continued diligence in this matter is critical. We know from past experience that even the most aggressive public health warnings are frequently ineffective. With unlicensed pharmaceutical retailers becoming more and more prevalent, it is entirely possible that we will face further emergencies of this type in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Ackerman. We will take your concerns under advisement.
Is that some kind of message? As many as 4 in every 10 people have purchased the product from an unregulated online source as a cheaper alternative to a legitimate prescribed equivalent. So there is the message, huh? Yes, please stick to the known pharmaceutical companies and give them all the money you got. Because these poor pharmaceutical companies like, well, no, I'd rather not name any names. We know they're so poor. It's not like they're making billions of dollars every year, especially in the last 2.5 years. I mean, these poor, poor, poor companies. Yeah, no, never mind. I could go on and that would never mind. In particular, the marked rise in the use of cognitive performance enhancing products is believed to be indicative of the expectation to maintain a high level of productivity in an increasingly pressured work environment. So people are shooting up to be more productive. Despite new legislation that has been introduced to improve the control of drug production and marketing, it is estimated that only 1/5 of the world's $760 billion pharmaceutical industry continues to be monitored effectively. I don't trust these pharmaceutical companies one bit either. Who cares how monitored they are? I mean, look at the thing, that's been happening the last 2.5 years, and how people have been taking the pokey poke, and for some reason, from my observations, the more often these people got the pokey poke, the more sick they're becoming. And they have the C thingy multiple times, while all the people who didn't take the pokey had it once, maybe twice, and then everyone was fine. And no, that's not what my dad died of, thank God. Otherwise he would have been dead way earlier if he had taken that thing. He just died of being stuffed with drugs for 5.5 years. When you lie in a nursing home and your life depends on being stuffed with tubes and medication, at some point the liver and or the kidneys can't take it anymore. And that was the main reason that killed my dad. Yeah, well, plus a whole lot of other issues. But yeah, it didn't. I mean, it's ironic, kinda. It's the medication that kept him alive for the last 5.5 years, and in the end, it also killed him. But I know why I stopped taking medication years ago. It's what ruined is antibiotics that ruined my health as well. But do the doctors care? No. Once the damage is done, they just leave you hanging and don't give shit about you anymore, because you won't be supporting their bullshit anymore. I mean, what kind of a doctor are you if all you know is how to prescribe drugs? That has nothing to do with healing. Yeah, well, sorry, I'm getting carried away. This whole topic didn't get any better with my dad dying. There's a whole lot of more anger in me, and never mind, I said I didn't want to cry tonight. No, all in all, I liked it. I liked it, although I'm not sure I liked the message. I mean, on the one hand, sure, it is always better to not buy some kind of drugs or pharmaceutical product where you don't know where they're coming from. But just because you buy them from a big pharma company doesn't mean they're much safer necessarily. I mean, I've been messed up with that topic, as I said, for quite a while. Because I lost my own health to that crap. I mean, sure, I was once really, really, really ill, and I'm guessing antibiotics saved my life. I probably could have died that night, or that time. That was a long time ago. I was 18, I think. 18, 19, 17? No, I think it was 18. And I think that was probably the only time in my life that antibiotics saved my life. All the other times I got stuffed with it for 20 years, at least once a year, up to 2 or 3 times a year, because I always had sinus infections, ear infections, throat infections, teeth infections. I was having tons of infections, and I was young, I was stupid. It started when I was 13, but it went on until I was 32, and then with 33, yeah. By that time I would have been old enough. When I was up in my late or mid late 20s, early 30s, I would have been old enough to do some research. And I don't really blame the doctors, because I mean, they're not taught to heal, they're just taught to prescribe drugs. You know, the body is a machine, and if it doesn't work properly, just stuff it with all kinds of tablets and pills and powders and liquids and whatnot until it runs again. And that's just bullshit, and it was my own stupidity and trustingness that a doctor would help me and heal me. So yeah, that's all on me. And these people here, well, yeah, they were trying to save money, get some cheap drugs to go on working, because sure, the pressure is up and everything. And is it the cheap pharma's fault they turned? Sure, maybe in a way, because they used cheap whatever shit to make these drugs, and that's the effect it had. But it's the people who took them. Can you blame them because they want to sustain, not sustain, they want to succeed in this fucked up system we live in? Yeah, sure, you can and you can't. Everything is so two-sided, you know, these days. It's I think I'm getting way too carried away, and now I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, no, I don't want to cry tonight. It's just this whole system, this whole society we live in, it's all so messed up. But yeah, I don't know how to change that. I'm not, I want to take part as little as I can in this whole collective self-destruction, because I do not believe that self-destruction is a virtue. It's not. Anyone can do that. It's easy to hate yourself. It's easy to self-destruct. I've said that multiple times. And staying part in this system is, it's just crazy. But the system they have planned for us isn't much better, so I'm not partaking in that either. I think it's important that we find some kind of parallel everything, parallel society, parallel economy, parallel whatever, that is more humane and more respectful and not as misanthropic as this other shit we're living and we're moving towards. Yeah, again, I'm sorry. I think I'm getting too carried away. Nonetheless, I like the movie. Just taken as a little short film. It was good. As I said, I like the silence in between. That the only talking was the only talking that was done was relevant to what happened, and then there were these silent scenes with the monsters that turned humans. Hmm. I mean, there is, maybe I'm overdoing it now with the interpretation, but you know, the whole turning into monsters after taking some weird drugs. I mean, that's not a news story. Yeah, never mind. You guys, I'll end it here. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you could enjoy this as well. Yeah, have a great day or a great night, and see you in the next video. Bye. And be careful with what you stuff into your body. There's a lot of shit out there, and I'm not only talking about the normal drugs or alcohol and crap like that, you know, sugar and chemicals and all that crap that's in our food. Just take care of yourselves. Yeah. Bye.